Hello, and welcome to day 22 of our Advent calendar project. I'm Heather from the 3 Crafty Elves, and I'm here to show you project number 10. So here is another card using the Petals of Beauty bundle. So if you opened project or envelope number 22, you should have gotten this Lost Lagoon card base, a piece of Secret Sea, a piece of Very Vanilla that we're going to stamp on, and this little label. This little label came out of the Nested Essential dies, and I used the second smallest die for that, if you were wondering where it came from. Now, what we're going to do out of your packet of vellum, you're going to need a piece that is 4 3/4 by 5. And we're going to cut it in half. And then your DSP layer needs to be 2 9/16 by 4 9/16. Yes, I have those little wonky numbers again. Just count the little tick marks. So first, I'm going to show you how, if I can get it on my screen, I'm going to cut. So first you're going to have to emboss it. So I embossed it with the Beautiful Pattern embossing folder, and that is part of the whole suite of this Petals of Beauty. So to cut this in half, I'm just going to line up the 2 corners in my tracks. And it just takes a second to get everything lined up just right. So I'm going to hold it there. I'm going to drop my blade. Oh, did I move it? In the center, and then go out and then come back. And that way your points won't get messed up. So that's that little part. That we're going to do. And then we're also going to do some stamping. So the Petals of Beauty stamp set is a 2-step stamp. For the flower, I've used Petal Pink and Calypso Coral. And the way I work with 2-step stamps the best, that I think is the easiest, is I put down, first, I do need to put this down because I'm going to have a little stamping off and I need a little pad. So we have a piercing mat. This is an old mat from our Stamparatus that we used to have. It's just a little thinner, but you're going to need some kind of a cushion underneath a polymer stamp so that you get a good, clean, crisp image. And so I'm just going to stamp the solid part of the flower first, and then for the second step, I'm going to take Calypso Coral, and before I do that, I'm going to kind of figure out which way this goes. Okay, so you just figure it out and you just tap it on there and you line it up. And there you have your flower. So for this card, we need 1 flower and 1 leaf. For the leaf, I'm going to do a different method. So for the inner part, or the solid part, I'm using Old Olive ink, but I'm going to stamp off first just to get a little lighter shade, and it still even comes out a little variegated, which is very cool. But then for the inner part, then I'm going to do it full strength, and you get the illusion of it being lighter and darker. This is a good technique. I could have done this the same with the flower and just stamped off on the Calypso Coral. You always have 2 different colors when you have an ink pad. You can have a light and a dark, you just have to stamp off. I didn't know if anybody knew that or not. So that's a little tip. Every ink pad comes with 2 shades. Actually 3, because you can stamp off again and have a 3rd generation lighter image. So from here, then we take the outline dies for that and the leaf and die cut those out. And for the sake of television or video or whatever you want to call this, what we're doing here, I've already pre-done one and cut it out, so it saves us some time in the video. If you need to do this, you can always pause and rewind and all that good stuff. Oh, we also need to stamp some sentiments, but let's first lay out our vellum. So I cut it on an angle and I want to keep this gap in the middle. So looking at how it is, and I know that I'm going to, on this card, I'm going to have stuff on here. I'm just going to put some adhesive in this area and try to avoid getting it on the other pieces so that we don't show it as bad. So pretty much for this one, I can put it all in here. And then you're just going to kind of eyeball it and give it about a 3/16 border, or however much you want to do. And then be in here, and hopefully I'm hitting places where stuff will be covering it. So now we have the vellum down on our base. We have a little more stamping to do. So now I have some Secret C, and up here in the corner, I'm going to stamp Here's to You, because we're going to make this like a celebration card. So anybody that needs to celebrate, you can give this card to them. So I have that, and then I have the sentiment Celebrate that I'm just going to stamp here on the bottom corner of this label. Just like that. Okay, so now we're going to start putting our card together. So we're going to put our DSP on top of our Secret C layer. And I did pop this whole thing up on dimensionals. I'm a dimensional girl. I like things to have some elevation on my cards. And I'm a very colorful card maker too. And I don't want my card to sink anywhere, so I'm putting a few extras. All right. And then I'm just going to put this over here on the left side of the card, kind of centering from top to bottom. And then we're going to put this on, and we're just going to have to put a dimensional on this one end so that it doesn't, it has a little stability, but we don't want to put it on the whole thing because the middle part here is already popped up. And then these, I just put them down flat. Let's see. So put that there, and then I'm going to tuck my leaf like that. Trying to see if maybe not. It looks like it'll be okay. And then I have another double linen thread bow. Whoops, didn't give myself enough of a tail. I just love linen thread bows. They're so versatile and go on just about any card you make. I'll just make sure my tails are even here really quick. Alrighty, and then we just need a glue dot. We'll put it right up there. Grab a little glue dot and I'll just put it right there between the leaf petals. And there you go. And then we just need, keep hitting my camera, some gems. We'll put a big red one in the center here. And then we'll put a little one over here. And let's stick a white one up here in the corner. So there you have it. There is card number 10, the second one of mine. So I hope you've enjoyed this card too and putting it together. And I hope you enjoy the next two that I do. So enjoy your day. Christmas is getting very close and I hope you're enjoying the holiday. And I'm really glad that you're spending it with us. Or maybe you're not. Maybe you're watching this after the fact. Either way, it's okay. But I really hope that you enjoyed this. So until tomorrow, have a good day.